Well, hello there again. Welcome to another review. Yes, I have the same outfit. I'm recording these videos back to back to back. Okay, it's just like I saw them. So let's get straight to the point. Civil War, the latest A24 movie. This is what is it, like third A24 movie released this year? I don't know. I lost count. But I'm excited because I was excited for this film because actually like Alex Garland's films. I'm a big fan of Ex Machina. That was like my first A24 film, even though at the time I had no idea what A24 was. I just thought the movie was remarkable. And I went into this movie with no expectations. I actually, for some fucking reason, I thought that this was like a continuation to Leave the World Behind. I don't know what it was. I don't know why my brain tickled that way, but I really thought that this movie was like a continuation to Leave the World Behind because they in that movie they mentioned something about like a civil war, you turn people against each other and they just overtake the government, whatever the fuck it was. But that was not the case. This is something that just stands on its own and has its own identity to it. That being said, I thought this movie would be something like apocalyptic, like we were just following just random people trying to survive a civil war. But to my surprise, we're just following some photographers that are just trying to publish shit to the public that is in war. It's a premise that I didn't understand, and even watching the movie, I was like, is this really is there a point to this? But as I watched the movie more and more, I kind of understood the point of why are we following some random ass fucking photographers take pictures of abysmal shit literally in the middle of the fucking warfare of the war zone. They're literally just there, like right in the middle of like two gunmen just like taking pictures and peeking out. And I just thought it was stupid. But then again, that is what happens. That's how the press is. This entire concept made me think of what's going on in Gaza immediately, like how many press people have died for trying to have information, like valid information, from the front lines and trying to push them over here to the West where they just don't believe anything that's actually going on down there. Go Palestine. Regardless of the matter, I thought it was kind of silly to follow that. Like at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, oh, are we really just chasing these people? But to my surprise, the movie is actually not bad or boring or anything like that. It does have its awkward moments though, especially when you have people trying to kill each other and then we're just seeing people just like take pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures like that. I feel like that's where the movie just takes me off. I'm like, okay, there's just like the level of unrealism here is fucking absurd because they're literally just peeking in the middle of the war zone, taking pictures, not getting a single bullet, right? So that kind of took me out of the movie, and needless to say, the fucking ending is abysmal. I'm sorry, I fucking despise the ending. I like fake endings as much as the next guy, but this is something on another fucking level to the point where I would put this ending up there with Men. And we all know how bad Men was. I made a fucking nearly 20-minute video talking shit about that movie and how much I wanted to kill myself while watching it. Regardless of all that I've said, all that bad things that I've said, this movie does excel in many different departments. I mean, like performance wise, this is really good, right? Everyone brings their A game. It has for me, the most memorable scene in the entire movie is the one from the trailer where you had the guy with the red glasses on. I don't know his name. I'm not really big on actors' names, but that moment, that whole scene was honestly just like it was so tense. You had no idea what was going on, and I really liked that. I feel like that was the peak of the movie. That's where the movie was literally at its peak, and then after that, it just went a little bit lower, and then it's just like a fucking abyss at the end. I do think this is a good movie. It has its meaning. It has its amazing cinematography as per usual. We know A24 is really good. That's just like that's like their trademark at this point. Having good cinematography is like synonym with fucking A24 at this point. I do think this movie is worth a watch. I don't think it's a must watch though. It's I mean like it kind of slow, and you could have shaved off 10, 15, maybe even fucking 20 minutes off of this movie, to be honest. There's a lot of scenes, like I said, where there's just like in the middle of the war zone, and the whole fucking point of that is them taking pictures, and it just feels unrealistic because, again, they're peeking while they're shooting to get a picture. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that this was just, this was also talked about in Nope, like the money shot and all that stuff, but I still think it's fucking stupid. Like I understand that this is what actually the press people do and go through, but it doesn't feel real. It feels a little bit way too in the fantasy side for something that you're trying to portray. I mean, it's better to portray things on an exaggerated manner than a realistical manner. Because if you're exaggerated a little bit, people will understand it more, right? You'll be like, okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I get your point. You know what I'm saying? So, nonetheless, watch it if you want, watch it if you don't. I mean, like, I'm not fucking your dad to obligate you to watch anything, but I will say the ending is very shitty, and it has a lot of very boring and bland scenes which will make no sense towards the end of the movie. But it does have some very good character development, some very good characters, and I do think this movie is serviceable. It's pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. Like, as a whole, the movie is good. It's just a couple things that pissed me off personally. I don't think a lot of people will agree with what I've just said, but me personally, that's not my lingo. Okay, I have a scar in my brain after watching Men, and anything that just sparks that fucking movie, it's just like X. But this movie is serviceable. It is pretty good, and it is a relatively decent time. You can watch this movie and you can enjoy it, and you can talk to your friends afterwards, or family members, or whoever you went with, for long hours to try to uncover the abysmal ending. So that being said, this movie gets a 7.5, Jesus, a 6.5 up to a 7 out of 10. Cause yeah, it's good, but it's not my cup of tea. All right. So